Listening to Cain and Randy on Scratch the Vinyl.
Scratch the Vinyl.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Scratch the Vinyl. You guys made it back, and we are still rolling strong. We are chugging along like a freaking, I don't know, like a giant train or something, going down, headed to Folsom Prison, and really just kicking butt. So, guys, it has been awesome. We've had some great guests here as we eclipse the 100th episode. We had the great Josh Hoyer on, of course. We had Todd Ogden come on and drop absolute atomic bombs on the city of Lincoln and Nebraska. We had the guys from We Were Once Loud podcast on doing a little crossover with the new Metal Mania. And now we're gonna flip the script like we always do, and we're gonna talk to another band here shortly. But before we do that, I got to bring him on. I got to bring the chill man himself on, Mr. Chill, Randy.
Oh, man, it's a wonderful day, and, man, I can't wait to get on and talk to our new guest today.
Man, it's there's so much going on. I know people are probably like, man, Cain, you always say that. There's so much going on, but, we kind of prove it to you guys, too. And one thing that's going on, Randy, is I will have now released a song, my 1982 synthwave song with the band Neon Mannequin. And that one will have already been out now on the Blaze. And it's really exciting. I wrote it in the vein of you, Randy. When I write these 80s songs, I think about you, my friend, every time.
Well, when you sent it over to me the first time, I have to admit, I loved it right out of the gate. So you hit on that sweet spot, that I love of that time period. And I think you've got a hit here. I think it's going to go over well.
Well, I hope people check it out. You can find it just like you can the podcast everywhere out there that you can listen. I'm sure I'll be posting a lyric video and all of that stuff, but it's exciting. I know a lot of times I don't really want to talk about my releases on the show because I don't want to be self-serving, but I know that Randy has always pushed me like, yes, please do this. And so even though it's uncomfortable for me and I want to disappear under the door like a puddle or something, I did the thing. So I'm just excited to be releasing music again. Cause Randy, I was sitting in a really uncreative, uninspired, depressed kind of time in my life here not too long ago. And it was really strange, but that conversation with Josh Hoyer truly did pull it out of me. For some reason, that was just a good positive day, and just talking about songwriting again and like seeing you writing songs. I'm just like, get off your butt. You have all the equipment sitting here in your studio and do something. So yeah, I just want to thank you and thank the great Josh Hoyer for pulling me out of the depths of myself.
Well, I want to say, I thought it was one of your lyrically, I thought it was genius. I thought you really captured it really well. And I listened to it, like I said, probably 10 times in a row, right after you sent it to me. And it caught me. I really like it. I think it's going to do well.
Well, it's interesting when I put it in front of my wife liked it, but she likes the other ways I write. She likes the other songs. She doesn't dislike this song. Maybe she's just not used to me writing kind of a fun, like robot love song. Cause that's what it is. It's basically a robot that's in love, but the other person doesn't love him back type thing. And so that was kind of the muse for, which makes so much sense right now with AI and everything. Like, you ever talk to I'll just say it lightly so that it doesn't like ping in your house, the A name, like Alexa, do this or do that. They're always listening. And sometimes the A name will chime in when you don't want it to, and you yell at it, like, knock it off, shut up, I've had it with you. It's kind of in the vein of that, like the robot is just, it just wants to be loved. So I don't know if the robot's me. I don't know what it is, but hey, sometimes it comes to you in weird ways.
Well, it's a little different from most of your other stuff where you've got that lower register voice and you got a little more country to you. And you lean on that heavier rock sound. This was kind of a fresh new take on your writing. I like it.
Well, give us before we bring the guests on, give us the report. You are the man of the people, and you're out there and you're in these crowds. How have things been going for you?
Man, it's been tremendous. March is always huge. Like the crowds are big in March, whether it's because of sports or, plus a lot has been happening around here, but we have been very busy and I've had a lot of new people, some great new singers. Like it's been exciting. I've been really enjoying it.
What's so interesting to me about you, Randy, is that you basically have set the bar for karaoke all of these years in Lincoln, not just karaoke, but entertainment. And you continue to bring new people in. Like when I had my business for a cup of tea in the community, the most interesting part of it was trying to get people like new groups. You can always lure, like somehow coerce a big group into coming back now and then, but to really get them to come and then get new groups all the time is fascinating.
Yeah, I tell you what, like this last Saturday, I even came in and I had a couple birthdays I knew were coming up and started about an hour early. In fact, the first rotation was over 3 hours. Had almost 70 some singers out of the gate at 8 o'clock at night.
Well, and that's that's a good night for, I mean, not just a good night, a great night. Those are the best nights because then you don't have to fill the time entertaining people and singing up there like a roasted Elvis or something.
Well, what amazes me is we've just the quality of people we're getting out right now. It's been fun again, and I enjoy it. We've put a little bit into getting a lot more new music, and I love that when we get the kind of people that come out and try the new things and keep it fresh. That's when I enjoy it the most.
Well, you are killing it, my friend, and I'm so glad that it's going great for you. You really are an anomaly, and someday I'm going to write a book about you, and it's going to be all about your time in the karaoke business here.
Well, at least you'll sell 3 copies,
and I'll be 2 of them, right?
Well, I see we got them in the queue. Let's bring them on, Cain. We got our guys from Welcome Hunters.
That's right, gentlemen. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the show.
What's up? How are you, fellas?
So who do we got here? We have Tyson, we have Logan, and we have Todd. Todd in the middle. Todd, we weren't going to allow you to talk. We were going to whip you and hold you down, but we want a bass player like yourself to chime in here for a second. So we're going to give you your day in the sun, my friend, and ask you first. Todd, how are things going for you?
So far, so good, man. I appreciate you having us on, and I appreciate you talking shit to these guys and making us have the bass player on, huh?
Well, usually I ask drummers about the lunacy of being a drummer, but now I get to pick on you, and I have to ask you, my friend, what is the lunacy that brought you to being a bass player?
Honestly, it was my brother. Kevin was as a guitar player, and I wanted to hang out with him. I was his younger brother, so I wanted to hang out with him. So couldn't drum, can't sing. Most logical step was the bass. So I'm the bass player now.
I don't know if all that's true. I've heard you guys harmonize a little bit.
It's not me.
Well, the bass is so important. Like guys who are in bands like myself, we realize that without the bass, I mean, everything kind of, you can do it, but it just adds that element to it that really drives the rhythm home and gets the girls dancing. You know what I mean? People don't realize how important the bass is. And yeah, these guys obviously do. I mean, so the Welcome Hunters now, you guys have been together for how long?
Well, officially as the Welcome Hunters, we've been together for 3 years, but we've known each other for almost 20, and we started playing music together back in college. About 20 years ago. And so Todd and Logan had a punk band back in the day, and they would let me open as a little singer-songwriter for them, kind of clash a little bit with the styles. But yeah, we've been playing music together for a long time. But as the Welcome Hunters, we've been rolling around for about 3 years now.
You love old punk bands.
Yeah, we absolutely love punk bands. Well, what area where are you guys? So you guys were down in like the Peru State area or what?
We played mostly Lincoln, Knickerbockers a lot. That was kind of our home bar, RIP, and then Omaha and stuff. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, we did most of our stuff right around home.
Yeah, we all met at Peru State, and then so a lot of stuff down here, southeast Nebraska and northwest Missouri, and up into Lincoln and Omaha.
Fun fact about Peru State is I was recruited to play football there, and I had a couple different colleges that wanted me to play there, and I was on my way down there, and as I was on my way down, I get a call from Concordia University in Seward, and the coach goes, yeah, you thumbs down. The coach goes, turn around, we've got a better offer, turn around now. So they kind of unload the offer on me, and I'm literally almost to Peru State to sign. I turn around, I go there, and needless to say, I didn't last very long at Concordia. I hated it there, and the rest was kind of history. But I always wondered how it would have been for me, because what years are we talking about that you guys were at Peru State?
Well, 2005 to 2010 or so, kind of, or a little bit longer, but around that time.
I was a little bit longer. I took the doctorate route.
Without the doctorate degree, yeah.
Well, I think I would have probably been on the doctorate, degree type thing. So I would probably just caught you, because mine was just in 2000. And I had friends that played baseball there and different things, but it's just kind of like the one that got away. I always wondered, because it's a beautiful campus.
Mm-hmm.
I love the area, but I got to ask you guys, I mean, this is a music show. What's you guys came here to play, but what's the music scene like there? Is there any scene at all?
Not a lot. No, it's kind of us down in southeast Nebraska. There's a few smaller bands down here that kick around, but down here there's not a whole lot. There's a lot of really great venues down here that really do support great acts from Nebraska and even from just this region. But in terms of like other folks playing down here, there's not a lot.
So basically, kind of during this time, the 20 years, you guys doing a lot of cover stuff, and then started transitioning into writing your own stuff?
Yeah, we did kind of start out as playing a lot of covers. We were playing for friends' birthday parties, and then just figured why not play in a few bars. And so we were just really playing the songs that everybody wanted to hear. But we've always written our own music, like even through the last 20 years. And even, when we first met and we're starting to play music together, we'll pull a lot of those old songs out into our set still today and kind of rebrand them a little bit for what we're playing now and how we're playing now. But we've been writing songs the entire time. But really now, with the Welcome Hunters, we've been a lot more intentional with writing, and which has been nice. It's a little bit more cohesive of ideas. I was singer-songwriter back then, playing acoustic guitar. They were in a punk band. And so now trying to mesh the old stuff together can be a little weird, but it makes it a little easier now, kind of writing with the same idea in mind.
Yeah. No, I think we write well together. We bounce ideas. It's a clean process. And I don't feel like any of us have a bigger head than anybody else. And it's like, oh, nope, that's a better idea than what I had. Let's change that line. Yeah, absolutely. And with life and families and work and all that stuff, we don't write together as often as we should. But when we do get together and play the songs that we've written, which is usually like, hey, I wrote a new song and put it on the list, let's play it. And then we're all playing it for the first time live in front of people. But, it just kind of, it works. I think we just vibe enough with each other that we can do that off the cuff and not have any major issues with that.
Well, how do you guys find, I find as a songwriter, I carry a notebook around with me, or I'll put it on notes on my phone now. Mm-hmm. But like, if something comes to me throughout the day, even if it's like 2 to 4 words that sparks something, I got to have it in there, and maybe I'll never revisit it. But what do you guys do as you guys walk around? I mean, do you guys, you're working your regular jobs, you've got your life, you've got kids around, but how do you guys find creativity through all that?
Definitely write things down in my notes and voice memos and things if I find a melody, but the notes is probably the big one. I have a whole section that's just like song ideas, and it might just be like 3 words that popped in my head, and I'm like, ooh, that's a cool concept, or that's a fun little line that could, and then that's usually how an entire song is born, at least for me. or I'll text and be like, oh, I have an idea for this song. This is that. And then, maybe one of us just runs with something, but
Yeah, we've done that a couple times where we'll send each other kind of just a theme for a song, and we'll each take a stab at writing a little bit of it too. And just like video recording, just if you get a melody or something, it's kind of nice just to have there. So when you get back and you're with your guitar and everything, you can practice a little bit more intentionally.
Well, the worst part is when something comes to mind, say you're in the shower and you have this killer, like killer melody or something that comes to mind for guitar, and then within like 5 minutes after you brush your teeth, it's gone. It's poof, vanished into. That's when you need something at all times. So I hope with the AI and robot era of everything, we can get something that just follows us around and just listens to us and takes the notes that we need. I don't want them to do anything else but just kind of be like a secretary.
like the little paper clip from Microsoft Word.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
a little fly on the wall for us.
Well, so you guys have anything new you guys been working on?
Yeah, we've been writing a lot of songs the last 6-8 months. We don't have anything recorded yet, and so that's kind of one of our big goals right now for this year. Most of it is really just making sure that we're getting out there and playing as much as possible. The first couple years, it really was, making sure folks know who we were, making sure we were doing a really good job when we went, so that those bars and those venues wanted us back. And we've come a long way in that realm. We've got a lot of really great spots that we're regulars at now, and that's super helpful. Logan and I have been doing a lot of singer-songwriter stuff individually as well. Sometimes we'll come together and play stuff together in the same venue, but also be at that same venue and playing separately. And so we've joined a few singer-songwriter showcases recently, and we'll be with the Trails of Tales crew going up to Deadwood in October, and then also in Fremont in May. And so we're really just trying to make sure that folks know we even just exist, and hoping that we're doing a good enough job that they'll have us back.
I would say we probably have a couple dozen unwritten songs that if we got into a studio, we could probably polish out an entire album pretty quick with the amount of partials that we have. But even in terms of finished songs, we could probably put together most of an album.
Yeah, we could fill a full album for sure.
I see you guys just played in Lincoln at the Upside, correct? Was that in March?
Yeah, we did. Just a couple, I think we've done St. Patty's Day the last 2 years, and we've been playing there really since we started, which has been nice. They've been a really gracious host for us.
I've done some shows out there with them, and they're kind of a little fun South Side bar. There's usually not a lot of music stuff on the South Side, and so that's a kind of a fun little place. It's kind of by itself out there at South Point.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of folks, it's their local bar. It's kind of their go-to bar if they're there. It's kind of fun.
Also, it's next to Guitar Center.
I was just going to say, every time we go out there, me and Cain always spend too much money.
Yeah.
That's dangerous, honestly. When you know you have a gig right next to it, you might as well just write over your money. Like, hey, can you guys just send what we're going to get paid over to Guitar Center?
Yeah, put it on the tab. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys mentioned the Trail of Tales Songwriter Festival, and when I signed you guys up to be on the show, I started checking out videos, and I was watching some of the stuff that you guys did there, and I thought it was really cool. But tell us a little bit more about that particular event.
Yeah, so it's in October, if I remember correctly, like October 15th through the 17th, this coming up. They've been doing it for a few years, and this year DJ has done a great, DJ and the crew have done a really great job at kind of expanding it. They picked up more bars this year, and so I think they're bringing in some more artists. But we're really watching closely as they were doing the last year's event to see, is this something that we think we would fit into and also we'd like to do? And it just felt really right down, kind of right up our lane. And so it's really exciting. It was fun to go out and film those videos with DJ, and then kind of getting to see all that come out as well, which has also helped us trying to get our name out there. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. I think they're going to have around 80 artists this year.
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, am I correct? And I think Nathan Wade was there also. And what was crazy about that was after he played there, I think he said something about they're putting him in the South Dakota Music Hall of Fame or something. that's wild. So are you guys next up on that? Like how does one get into the South Dakota Music Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to have to start with the Southeast Nebraska Hall of Fame before we jump into a different state. I'm not sure. We're lucky we get to play around Iowa and Kansas and Missouri and Nebraska a little bit. We're really excited to go up that far away from home. You know, that's been a really big thing for us the last couple of years. We've playing down here. We know a lot of folks down here. We're kind of either from here or really ingrained in our communities. And so, you know, it's fun going and playing in front of your friends, but they're going to always be nice and clap for you and give you little pats on the back. But it's been really fun going to communities that don't know who the heck we are and getting invited back and getting some good thumbs up from those kinds of folks. So it'll be really fun to go up to South Dakota and really experience that really for the first time for any of us to be in that kind of environment with that many artists and that kind of camaraderie, which we really appreciate, being pretty much brothers ourselves. We appreciate that kind of connection with other artists and those kinds of events.
Yeah. And I think they're going to be better off having us because we're like pretty awesome and fun people. So,
well,
We're leaving Todd. We are leaving Todd back at home. We might let him come with. He can sleep on the couch or something if we go to a hotel, but he,
I can't wait to leave. Come on, start booking shows by myself down in southeast Nebraska when they're gone. Welcome Hunters featuring Todd.
we're gonna feature him as soon as they leave. We're gonna just go on a mad booking spree. It's gonna be all
Solo
bass.
bass. Who doesn't want to hear solo bass, right?
just bass.
But you know, those videos were fantastic. I can think of you know, one I watched a original song you guys did called I believe it was Too Dumb to Quit, which is
Yes,
which
sir.
is a killer title anyway, right? And it kind of fits what I believe is the style of country, you know, and that you guys would do. I just thought, you know, it just had everything to it. Tell us a little bit more about that song.
Yeah, you know, we're all small town guys. And, you know, when you live in small rural communities, especially small town Nebraska, you only have a couple options for kind of being cool and popular. You can be good looking, you can be a good athlete, you could be funny, and none of us were either of those things. So we just had to start writing songs and surrounding ourselves with those people. And so it really is kind of a story about the bars that we kind of cut our teeth in playing music and also just frequenting. And then also the people that we grew up around and the people that we were around at Peru State College and the kind of the places that we like to go there. And it's just kind of makes you know, somebody's got to have your back. And if you're not good enough to kind of finish that fight, sometimes you need a little bit of help.
Yeah.
Todd, will you explain to him that there's one other category of being cool, and that's being the bass player?
Absolutely. 100%.
Out in the wild, there's one creature feared by hunters, admired by lumberjacks, and envied by hipsters.
Yeah, it's me, the elegant Sasquatch, and let me tell you, these locks don't tame themselves.
Introducing the Elegant Sasquatch Grooming Company. Beard oils, butters, and washes so good, they'll make your face smell like you wrestled a cedar tree while sipping fine whiskey.
Last week, a hiker followed me for 3 miles just to ask what cologne I was wearing. Joke's on him, I don't wear cologne. I wear the gentleman.
Upgrade your beard game. Sophisticate your outer beast. Find the Elegant Sasquatch Grooming Company at elegantsasquatchco.etsy.com.
And stop stealing my jerky!
But you know, with you guys on you know, you guys are writing these originals, but you're also doing some pretty cool covers. I was talking to Randy about another video I watched that really piqued my interest was a John Prine cover that you did. And I believe it was Logan doing Please Don't Bury Me. And it really, I love John Prine. I don't think, I know that he gets like critical acclaim and people love him, but I don't think everyone really loves him unless they dive into it. And so I want to play the lyrics game with all you guys today because sometimes this is fun. I picked out some John Prine lyrics, but then after I read this, I want to get like what you guys think are peak lyrics. It doesn't have to be John Prine, but it can be anybody. But these are my lyrics for today. From Hello in there. It says, you know that old trees just grow strange and old rivers grow wider every day. Old people just grow lonesome, waiting for someone to say hello in there. Hello. I mean, that's poetry, my friends. That is poetry in its purest form, and it comes from a man who is who, if you probably met him or watched him, you wouldn't think he was so eloquent when it came to that type of thing. But man, what a poet he was. So those are my lyrics. But what do you guys have as favorite? You know, all of you can talk. One of you, whatever. What are some of your favorite lyrics that come to mind? It can be yours too.
Man, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
The first thing that popped into my head was I won't go down with my I won't go down by myself, but I'll go down with my friends, which is a My Chemical Romance lyric. But I think one that I've probably talked about more is the sidewalk holds diamonds like a jewelry store case, which is a Bright Eyes lyric. I always just thought that was really pretty and just like a fun connection. But those are both kind of ridiculous answers, and I think there's probably better. If I had time to think, I could come up with a better answer.
Yeah, it is hard. And like my head goes straight to Sturgill Simpson because like the last, 10 years listening to him and some of the stuff he wrote. But I really think when it comes to country music, my favorite opening line of any song is from You Can Have the Crown. And he says, I've been spending all my money on weed and pills, trying to write a song that'll pay the bills, but it ain't came yet. So I guess I'll have to rob a bank. I'm like, that just slaps so hard. And I think that's the greatest intro line to a country song maybe ever.
Yeah. Even the chorus, they call me King Turd up here on Shit Mountain. If you want it, you can have the crown.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty good too. So I mean, there's a lot of really great ones. That's a pretty loaded question.
Well, it's a hard one for those of us that do a lot of music and a lot of songs like you guys do. Putting people on the spot that just come up with lyrics is like asking someone, what's your favorite album of all time, right? Because to me, my mind starts becoming a supercomputer and like ready to just explode. And you can actually see the smoke coming out of my ears when somebody asks me that question. But, you guys did bring up, I mean, Randy, what do you got? And then we want to know, Todd's got something mulling around in there. But I want to know, Randy, what do you have for lyrics first?
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to my boy, Jason Schwami. He did a little ZZ Top last night and he was doing Sharp Dressed Man. And in between the breaks, I was doing, I got a gal, she lives on the hill. She won't do it but her sister well when she boogies. Do the tube steak boogie. Anyways, when he'll be listening to the show on this episode, he'll laugh because I just finally, he's got the voice for it. I finally got him to do a little ZZ Top and he killed it, of course. I just love the lyrics, ZZ Top. I don't know, they crack me up.
That's perfect. ZZ Top is one of those bands. It's so simple, but it's not, right? Like what they're doing, you're like, man, like why didn't I think of that type of band whenever I listen to them? But what they're playing is pretty complex, but they do it in such a smooth, easy way. It's like it's some of the best stuff ever. But I think the question on everyone's mind now is, we built it up. We want to know from you, the bass player, Todd, do you got any lyrics in there that really, or are you just hearing bass sounds?
Well, of course, I have to go with the bass line to Under Pressure.
Right? Those are his favorite lyrics.
Or is it Ice Ice Baby? We don't know. It's one of those two songs. But I play it at every show, and it gets the crowd hype, and then they shut me down. They turn my amp off.
What? Or Money by Pink Floyd, right? You've
Yes,
got
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
that's the perfect answer. I mean, like that's awesome, man. I just think that this is one of those shows where Randy and I feel that lyrics are so important, and a lot of people now, I think kids, and I know here we are, old people, right? Get off my lawn. They don't understand how important lyrics are. Some people only care about the beat, or they only care about this or that. But I think that lyrics still matter, and they're not a throwaway. And doing the singer-songwriter thing is proof, right? Because if you go watch it's all lyrics and melody, and it's all driven by that. So I can't think of a better game to play than that.
You know how that song was written?
Which song?
Under Pressure.
I assume Under Pressure.
So David Bowie invited Freddie Mercury out to his resort. It was in Europe somewhere. Anyways, basically they were doing a ton of coke and wanted to write a song, and they each went into their own separate studios, or like each took a different turn into the booth, and they just whatever came out, and they blended them together, and that's how that song was written.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So they didn't even collaborate. They didn't feed off each other. They did their own thing and then put it together. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'll have to
I
go
always
back
love
and
that
listen
story.
now.
Yeah.
I got to listen to it now knowing that.
Did Suge Knight shake them over a balcony and tell them that he created that song like he did Vanilla Ice? Oh man. All right. Well, guys, I do want to dive in more into you guys as artists. I want to get into the stuff that I think really matters, and I know Randy does too, which is what got you guys into music, because everyone has their own journey into what they do. So let's start with Tyson and work our way around as to, why did you start playing music and what really got you into it?
Yeah, I started when I was a teenager, 14 or 15, and really it was just like seeing other people do it. I realized that I could, but just really, my dad was a huge music fan growing up, and we would play the, what's the song game in the car on the radio every time. And so, it was kind of just a thing that we did in my family a little bit. And so just always loving music and then wanting to do it myself. I think it was just kind of a natural progression. And then for whatever reason, I look back now, and it's one of the things that I'm actually more proud of, that I didn't stop. And so just kind of looking back and thinking, I've been playing music for longer than, over half my life. It just, yeah, something that always clicked with me, something that always stuck. And then I think getting to college and finally meeting other people that were playing music and taking it seriously and writing songs was just really inspiring as well. And it kind of made me feel like, it's something maybe I can do. And then, we would kick it around with a couple other musicians down here back in the day. And one of our kind of the godfather of the Welcome Hunters, we would call him Sean Cole. Just him giving us the opportunity back in the day to play, and then just being really nice and saying just such nice things that made you realize that maybe it's something I could continue to do. So it was a little bit of the camaraderie, but also just the passion that came from mostly my father.
How about you, Logan? Like what really spiraled your path into being a musician? And I don't want it's to pick up chicks, but if it was to pick up chicks, we understand.
Definitely not to pick up chicks. For starters, I wasn't good at sports. But I mean, to piggyback off what Tyson said, I mean, my dad would do the same game in the car. One of my earliest memories is walking around with a cassette player and headphones on through a family event, singing Van Halen, Highway, or not Running with the Devil, and getting yelled at because my grandparents were going to hear me say it, and just like walking around listening to Van Halen and stuff like that, and just kind of piqued my interest, and then seeing other people do it, and then got into choir and show choirs and stuff like that in high school. Had a bunch of friends. We all played music in high school, another punk band. We played lots of Misfits covers and Clash and stuff like that. And so it just kind of stuck with me, and got to college, played in a country band, which was a complete flip around from what I was used to in high school. And my friends probably would have beat me up if they knew I was doing it. And then met these guys and started playing again. And it's just kind of been a fun little roller coaster in and out of different genres. And I don't know, it's just a passion, makes me happy. It's my medicine, keeps me sane and on this planet. So,
you kind of mentioned it a little bit before, but like what is it about music? Like when you, what got you into music, and what is it about music that kind of keeps you doing what you're doing?
100% the chicks. Just kidding. That never works. Happened once, I think. I think it worked out once. But just the relationships that I've built through the music and playing music. It's with these guys. It started way back when I was a kid, like they said, the vacations, listening to cassette tapes in the car with the family. But then it was my brother playing guitar. And then since he was the lead guitar, I had to be the bass player. That's kind of where it started, and kind of developing through that, and always wanted to be as good as him and growing in that kind of aspect. But then I met Logan in college, and kind of he opened the eyes of like, just be yourself and if music's your true thing, then you'll find out. And then I found out, and music was what kind of led me to where I was now. And all the cool things that happened in my life was because of the music.
And Todd's also a music teacher by profession too. So he like really did take it seriously.
Yeah. But like I said, the music like opened up the door, every door, all the cool stuff that's ever happened in my life centered around that music, and just believing in yourself and believing who you are and accepting that fate that music is going to screw up your life, and embrace that, and you're happy. No matter where you're at in that roller coaster, just enjoy it, and it's part of the ride. So,
Well, Ken, I could tell these guys are from your generation because every reference they made was to cassettes.
A
We had
hell
8
of a
tracks.
time in our history. Yeah, not 8. You guys are dialing in 8 tracks too, or what?
My dad had an 8-track player in the garage. So
I think my earliest memory in my entire life is picking out a Warren Zevon cassette tape with my dad. I think that's the first memory that I have.
What so when CDs hit, then were you like me? Did you literally not care and just throw it over your shoulder and then realize that, oh wait, this is going to eclipse cassettes very quickly, and then you have to buy them all? Like when CDs hit, do you guys remember like some of the first CDs that you encountered?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now we would relate it to like the Pokemon binders. Like we had the full giant thick things that eventually you'd have in your first car. You know, it'd take up one seat in the back seat of your car, and that you just traveled with it everywhere, plus all the ones that you stuck into your visor as well. So no, I bought into the CD thing immediately. I was totally for it.
Yeah.
Getting, my first CD players, and burning CDs. We were totally a part of that.
yeah, we didn't go anywhere as a family where I didn't stop. Wherever we went, I was going to find a new CD to buy, no matter what. And so it was just, I can remember like the influential ones. I can remember where we were, what we were on the trip for, and what I bought while I was there. Like Blink-182's Take Off Your Pants and Jacket was a huge one for me. And I bought that at Walmart in St. Joe on the way to a family reunion in middle of Missouri. And I just I know that. And then I listened to it 100 times that whole weekend on my Discman and didn't talk to anybody and just hung out by myself and listened to that album over and over. And there's dozens of albums just like that I bought at wherever, FYE, if you can remember FYE. But yeah, I bought so many.
Yeah.
But we were just a little bit late to the cassettes, because like my parents were buying CDs when I was still, before I would buy them for myself. So, I mean, I think we might have just missed that window.
Well, first I got to tell you, I had that same experience with that Blink-182 CD. If it was an album, I would have scratched the crap out of it. It would have been done dealing. That was such a great CD. Can you guys relate to this comeback vinyl is having right now? Do you guys get that we're having this return? Like I think we just announced just not that long ago that finally vinyl sales have eclipsed 1 billion in sales against the first time since 1981.
Yeah.
And I know part of it is because Taylor Swift released a new album on 4 different colors. And so all the fans had to buy the album 4 times to have every copy. But that's still we still find it pretty amazing, because me and Cain are big vinyl fans. And so we love we love talking about the transition from vinyl to cassette to CD, and now seeing this vinyl return. And I don't know if it's just nostalgia, but it is something about, what it means to listen to songs on that real vinyl sound, and not so much kind of digital, perfect auto tune. And, I'm kind of leading this down because, like, listen to you guys perform live. Like, you guys would be a vinyl type band. I mean, just your harmonies and the way you guys, what you guys are about. I would think you would be vinyl guys.
Yeah, for sure. It is much more of a tactile experience, right? It's kind of it's like making your dinner at home versus heating up a TV meal or something. The full experience, by the end of it, you're just a little bit more appreciative of all of it. And then even, it's just a warmer sound, everything.
Well, I think we've got it down to why vinyl is so important. I think it's the fact that you can't just quickly skip over something. You have to listen with intent. That's why you can go walk over there, you get off your butt, you can go across the room and you can move it. But then you have to hit it at the right point, right, to get the next song, or you scratch the hell out of it. So it takes a lot to do it. But I mean, this show is based around it because we love physical copies, and cassettes gave us that. Just not quite like we have it with records, and of course CDs did. I mean, I had CDs everywhere. I had thousands of CDs, and I loved collecting all of them. But there's something about vinyl that's just different. And I mean, granted, yes, I think the sales eclipse because they're like $60 a pop for some of the new ones. That probably doesn't hurt. But I mean, people are just consuming it because they want that physical copy again. I mean, streaming wise, it just sucks. I love it. I love it and I hate it. As a musician, I love that we can look at everybody's album and you can discover people. That part's great. But like doing playlists, that part's awesome. I have playlists that are so long that you could literally never get through them ever. Like if you shuffled, I guarantee you'll never get through them. And I keep adding every day. So like in the streaming world, are you guys big playlisters? Do you have like massive playlists, party mixes and all that stuff? What do you guys do in the streaming world now?
I don't have any massive playlists. We'll throw stuff together for each other just so that we're like, what are we listening to right now? Or what do we want to try and learn for the next bar show or whatever? But I mean, I'm huge and I love for the same reason, just the ability to discover new artists, going down to the sounds like or whatever, similar artists. I really appreciate streaming for that. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. I like this artist. Like I'm really big into Jason Scott and the High Heat right now. And I'll click on that, but I'll click on that radio. So it'll play me other artists that sound like this band and kind of make its own playlist based off that one artist.
Yeah.
And I do that a lot, I found a lot of songs and new artists that I really like that way. But I don't necessarily create playlists. Most of the artists I'm listening to, if I do that radio thing, I'm going to hit all the ones that I would put on a playlist anyway. Todd?
What I usually do is I create a playlist of the songs that we're going to cover for a show coming up, and I just listen to those over and over again to try to get the feel and the vibe, and so I do that quite a bit. And then also I'm really big into Graham Parsons right now, so everything Graham Parsons, the Flying Burrito Brothers, the International Submarine, man, I just can't get enough Graham Parsons. So
man, Todd is fascinating. Todd is a music teacher. He's over here. This guy has got me baffled, man. I could listen to you talk all the time, man. This great. I mean, I would have never in my wildest dreams thought that you would say, yeah, I've been digging into Graham Parsons lately. And that's what I love about it, right, Randy? I mean, it's a blast to talk about music when it's this type of stuff.
I don't know. For some reason, it always sometimes shocks us what people are going to say and where their influences come from. But I could tell these guys kind of have that same influence we did, and you can kind of tell kind of just the different genres they're part of. And no, this doesn't surprise me. As I always say, I think your parents were a very good positive influence on your musical tastes.
Yeah. Hopefully they watch this. So they'll get a little kick out of that.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why I'm such a huge strawberry wine fan, because my mom.
Yeah, Celine Dion here too.
Just
Dixie Chicks.
Just don't say Mariah.
That's a Todd.
That one. Yeah,
That's Todd.
Speaking to Graham Parsons and Mariah Carey right now.
what a collaboration that would be, huh?
Just Cain will explain.
Elton John, so.
Oh, well, there you go. Just don't say her name 3 times. It's not Christmas. It's not Christmas yet.
The Biggie Smalls kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, we like to refer to it as a Candyman type thing.
Yeah, that would have been the original. That would have been the original.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or Bloody Mary or whatever you want to say, but Mariah, the C word, is not a. But I was talking about my playlist. I have a playlist that's 161 hours in 59 minutes and growing by, I mean, I can't even tell you how many hours it took me to like go through these albums and curate that. So that's what I enjoy. I enjoy shuffling, when I do that, but it still doesn't give me the same feel. It's only good because I find people that I've never heard before. Are you guys right now on streaming? Like, do you guys have some stuff out there that you've recorded that I can find or that we can push people towards?
Unfortunately, not anything on streaming right now. All of our stuff's gonna be on our Facebook page. We have a little TikTok as well, but that's one of the things that we're working on this year, that we can get some pen. Well, I mean, we've got pen to paper, we've got our songs written, but we just need to get it recorded and produced and mixed and everything.
Well, as soon as you make that happen, we will talk about our next sponsor, Noisel, Nebraska. We want to get all of our Nebraska artists, just like you guys, on Noisel, Nebraska. And to have an actual streaming platform for Nebraska artists is such a cool thing. And you guys would be perfect for this. So I do encourage you to manifest that, getting that done. And because we really need you guys got such a great live performance presence. It's time to get it on an album and get it streaming for all of us to hear.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes. And, we're doing an event down in Brass City that Mike got us hooked up with, an Opry event here in, coming up in August. And so hopefully, we'll be working towards that and getting all of that figured out. But that's a big goal of ours for 2026.
Mm-hmm. I love talking about this to artists because going to a studio is expensive. I mean, this is the reason why I built my own studio here. I mean, I built a sound booth. I have all my gear. It's not top end. It's good enough. Some might say it's demo quality at times, but I do my damnedest. What's the holdup with you guys? I mean, are you guys perfectionists, or is it just that the studio time is so expensive? What's kept you guys from putting out an album?
Scheduling. We're all busy. Being able to get everybody in the same room for a few days in a row and meshing everyone's schedules to fit that's pretty challenging.
Yeah, Logan and I live 15 minutes apart, but Todd lives about an hour south of us down in Kansas. And then there's just, we don't have that kind of resource down here. Even like we could potentially build our own little studio and do it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We just, we want to make sure that we do it right. So we're hoping to get a little bit of help with that. We've been lucky in the last handful of months to run into some folks who are doing that in their basements. And so I think it'll probably end up being something like that for us, that we hook up with somebody that's, not unlike you, Cain, that's doing it themselves, and that we can figure out a way that we can all just take a weekend off or however many days to go up and get some stuff just kind of hammered out.
Well, it's so hard I mean, you're absolutely right. It's scheduling. We're all older. We're all, we've got our lives ahead of us. It's getting all the pieces together, getting musicians to come in, or you have to pay them online. There's so much to being a musician, but the business is so different now. It's interesting that you can really make an album and people have in their living room, in their basement, in their bedroom, wherever, and they're putting it out. Now, I'm not saying all of it's quality. That I think that's the problem with like DistroKid and all the distribution that people are using, including myself, is that it's not as special as it used to be anymore. You know what I mean? Like nobody's getting, but it's good too, because the gatekeepers at all these record companies aren't just shoving all of us down. Like we're actually getting our art out there. So I love that. And I love your answer too, because I think it's the most honest answer, which is it's really just scheduling and wanting to put out a great product. And you guys will put it out when the time comes. And I can't wait to hear it, because everything that I've seen from you guys online and heard, I mean, you guys are my type of band 1,000%.
Well, you guys know we did a feature on our show with Todd Ogden about the music box that we're going to be promoting more and more as we move along. But this is a thing that gives bands like you guys an opportunity for a small investment into it to go in and have studio time and really produce what you want to produce. And so I encourage you guys to check that out when you finally really lock down of what the kind of album you want to put together. And I do want to say this, just like Cain said, I tell you what, we love bands like you guys. We love getting to sit down and talk with guys like yourself, just kind of learning your story and kind of this. You guys are a good example of just kind of, you know, as we used to call it, our favorite garage band that keeps going, and you guys are still doing it after 20 years. And man, hopefully we'll get a chance to maybe next time you're in Lincoln, we'll maybe get to check you guys out live.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Well, we've played a few games here. We've got a little bit of time left, so let's play one of our other favorite games before we go, Randy. I like games. Let's play some games here. Let's play the earworm game. And the earworm game is simple. Just something that you've been listening to that you cannot stop listening to, or a band or whatever. So, what do you guys got? What has been an earworm to you lately?
Man, I've been kicking back on old Willie Whalen and Merle, the kind of the classics, but I've really can't get enough of like Rose in Paradise and some Merle Haggard, even some of his real fun stuff like I'm a White Boy. Like that stuff is just really fun as a singer-songwriter to listen to and get ideas and really get those rhythms. But it just reminds you, like going back and listening to some of those, how great and how ahead of their time they were. But I can't get enough of some of those old Outlaw Boys right now.
I already name dropped it. I've been listening to Jason Scott and the High Heat just on repeat. Love all of that. Every album they have on Spotify is gold front to back. And in my opinion, I think like you're talking earworm. They just have this, they have a great vibe. It's like you were talking about the bass earlier, where it just drives the bus. And that's just how their music is it's just this, you get on and you just roll with it. It just feels like it's just a fun ride to be on. And the lyrics are fun too. But it's just their whole vibe. I think that just is what's bringing me joy at this point.
I've gone back and listened to, taking a break from Grant Parsons, like the Buddy Holly stuff. Waylon was Buddy Holly's bass player that last tour before he was killed in the plane crash. So I've gone back and listened to a lot of Buddy Holly stuff to try to get Waylon's vibe, and a lot of Waylon Jennings, and also the Descendants were just in town not that long ago in Omaha. So I'm going back to listen to the Descendants and Frank Turner and that kind of stuff for punk.
What about you, Randy? I mean, you've been doing a ton of gigs. You've been playing music all over. What has really been driving it home to you lately, and you've been listening to it nonstop?
Well, I've been all over the place, and I was kind of in that. I was definitely in a heavier metal mood there for a while, and I don't know if that was just because we were into that for quite a bit, and I was really kind of stuck in that. But oh man, I don't know if there's one thing that I've just been dead set on. I will bring up the reference that I think I've messaged you like the last 3 weeks that for some reason, every time I've been heading to my one show, they're playing Zero by the Smashing Pumpkins. Like I never used to hear that song on the radio at all. And now I've heard it like 3 or 4 times in the last 2 weeks. And it then always draws me that then when I get to the show, I want to get people to start doing more Smashing Pumpkin songs.
That's just the universe telling you that Billy C and the boys, they're the kings of music, everybody. And it's time to finally bow down and understand. Well, that's just how I feel.
I'll throw one last one at you, is that I did start playing some of the new Foo Fighters music, and I like it. It's kind of in that same vein that they've always been. I think it's pretty good.
Well, I think I shared it with you. Flea just put out Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Here we go, talking about bass players, cool bass players. Maybe the
only one.
Yeah.
The only one in existence.
But he just put out an album called Honora, and it is actually I listened to it back to back over and over again, and I was like shocked at how good it was. It was like with the jazz behind it and everything. It's a really interesting album, and I can't stop listening to it. So that's my pick, is, believe it or not, listening to a full album of Flea and all the insanity that he put together. It is an absolute masterpiece. It's going to be a classic, guaranteed.
Before we let these guys get out of here, let's let's just remind the fans again how anybody can get, hold of your schedule, your socials, let them know how to find you, and hopefully maybe, find out the dates the next time you guys are performing.
Yeah, mostly it's our Facebook page. So if you just search the Welcome Hunters, hopefully we're the only one you find, anyways. But we keep up on there we keep up on there a lot. We do have a TikTok and an Instagram as well, but our Facebook has got all of our videos and all of our songs that we've got that are polished and done, not recorded, but we've got videos of a lot of it. But we post every single one of our shows that we're doing on there, and so I'll be playing by myself tomorrow night up in Omaha, but then we'll be back at the Roca Tavern in a couple weeks. And then in May, we'll be out in Fremont for the singer-songwriter showcase. And then summer hits and we're doing a bunch of street dances and all the outdoor stuff and some private shows as well. And but yeah, we post everything on there.
Well, there you go, Scratch the Vinyl fans. You have no excuses not to go check out the Welcome Hunters. They're going to be playing everywhere all through the summer. Please go find them on their socials and go see them live.
Check out our LinkedIn.
That's the best place to point anybody is there. Your LinkedIn kind of has everything. I know that's my new go-to when people ask me is just go to my LinkedIn and it'll tell you.
That's how we found Todd.
Yeah.
That's how I found Todd. That's really weird. Well, hey guys, it has been an absolute pleasure having you guys on the show. I really appreciate you guys. I'm so glad that we got to connect in this way and have you guys just get on and talk about music. And for the rest of you guys out there, all the scratchaholics scratching away like Scratchamania, running wild, taking your vitamins, saying your prayers. We just want you guys to know we appreciate you all and we want you to come back every single week. We'll catch you on the flip side here on
Scratch the Vinyl. Scratch the Vinyl.